Oh man, crypto bloodbath, a day to forget in the markets. Bitcoin tumbling down 5%, sitting at 87,000, and it doesn't look like the bleeding is going to stop. Major altcoins, including Sonic, down 13%, Ethereum down about 5% today. It's been a painful market. What is going on? Is there any reprieve? And what am I doing in this market? If you like these timely updates as and when it matters, I'm here with you guys. Smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. I'm going to break into exactly what's going on. What is the reason for this dumb thing? A lot of people try to share what the exact reason is. But really, it's a concoction of a bunch of different things, which I'm going to weigh into. So it's going to be quite a detailed video. Make sure you smash up the likes, get seated comfortably, and let's get into this one. We're going to start by just looking at the Bitcoin price action. And yesterday's candlestick was a telling one on Monday. And it came at the same time as Trump continued to announce that he's going to press on with his tariff plans, including the tariffs he wants to put on Mexico, on Canada, and on China, and that kind of first shook the market. And yesterday we had a 5% down day, closing the day at 91.5. Today was no better, right? A small little bit of relief made it look like we wanted to go to 92.5, and then boom, down we go here on Bitcoin, as low as 86 at the time of recording this video, 86.7 at the time of recording this video, and we're losing major support. So we need to get into it. Is it a reason to panic? Should we now be jumping out the market and selling everything? I'm going to break down exactly what my game plan is, but first and foremost, look at this chart here, guys. This is the pivot point. We spoke about this. This is nothing new. When we got rejected from the top here, please go watch my videos. You can see this was a double top. I spoke about this. I spoke about we touched this and we touched it again. Wicking candle here, and it's a wicking candle here. It shows we didn't have the strength to go onwards, right? This was our Fibonacci extension target of the move, 109.8. We pretty much touched it with this wicking candle, and then we show no strength to go above it, right? The bulls were exhausted anyway. Now I'm going to come on to the other reasons in terms of macroeconomy and the tariffs and the rest of it, but from just a price point perspective, we were exhausted. We were exhausted on this price move, and it looked like we needed to come down. Now, also, we know that there's a very important horizontal, right? This is an important horizontal where my cursor is, and we lost that yesterday. We didn't manage to hold that. Now within here, within the Fibonacci level, we knew this 0.382 level, the 95.5, was really important. And this was an area from the 4th of February, which is a good, 20 odd days, right? 3 weeks here. We were in this range, and we managed to hold it. Crazy volatile wicking candles. It was just showing that we were exhausted. It wasn't right. We wasn't ready for another attack at 110. We got to pull back, right? And yesterday and today is the amalgamation of that, losing key support, and then quickly, with this, the surprising bit is today, right? Yesterday we came down to this support. Fine, maybe we could kind of consolidate there for a bit. No. Straight through, we're going down for major support. Major support here at 86.5 is the same as this pivot point. And this pivot point is important. Now, zooming out even further, what did we speak about, guys? We spoke about, and you guys will attest to this in the comments, hopefully, that I said once we broke through after the election, we had a crazy run up to 106, and then we came down and then went over to 109. This was a crazy run, but we never came to retest. We never retested this level here from the previous all-time high. Right? That's the previous all-time high level, which we never retested. So if you take a look at that level, call it 71, you can even go up to 74 range, call it 72 to 74 range. We never came to test that zone. And that is the zone now that starts to be called out. Now, there's no need to be, listening to people that are shouting out, oh, Bitcoin to 10,000, Bitcoin to 5,000, oh my God, oh my. No, just look at what we're seeing in the charts. We lost the minor support that I just showed you. We then lost the intermediate support, which is the 92.5 level. It's gone. Now we're trying to hold on to this support. Failing that, which is a high probability we fail that support, unfortunately. Guess what? This price action, all the way from 68, this is that horizontal, my yellow line there, it just went, right? And so what goes up quickly tends to get filled to the downside pretty quickly as well, which is a little bit of a scary sight to see that from the next set of major support, we're a good 17% away, because at the time of recording this video, from the highs on Bitcoin, we have fallen to just currently where we're at the time of recording, 20%. To suggest that there could be another 17% to take the full correction down to 35% is intimidating. But again, it's something that happens time and time again in crypto. These things happen. Now, there's a worrying thing which starts to come out. And I'm only telling you this out of experience. Sometimes the crypto market wants to correct for a healthy reason. But when it's correcting, it starts to undercover who is up to no good in the space. Let me explain. When we go back to the previous cycle, when Bitcoin was sitting high at 64,000, right? This is the cycle. We ran up here to 64,000 on Bitcoin. And then we had a little bit of a pullback, right? We had a little bit of a pullback down to 48. Same kind of thing where people are pretty nervous. I mean, let's just take that measured move here. I mean, that's also a 26, almost 30% pullback here on Bitcoin. Then it recovers back up to 59. And then boom, we're going all the way down to 29,000 in that summer of that year in 2021. But the problem is, in that period, you start to uncover, what's going on in the market. Who are the nefarious actors? Who are struggling? And that includes what later came out to find out was FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, was the scam behind Do Kwon and Terra Luna and the depegging of UST. It was 3 Arrows Capital and Voyager and Celsius. All of these actors came out in the wash after we touched 69,000 later on that year, and we then proceeded into our bear market, eventually taking us to 15,500. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this just to warn you. When the price of Bitcoin comes down, companies who aren't operating very well, who aren't very solvent, or those that are doing fraud or up to no good, they start to get exposed, right? When the tide goes out, you find out who's swimming with no trunks. And suddenly, if you're one of these players and Bitcoin is corrected, like we're saying, maybe if it comes down to 72, 73, it's corrected 35%, guess what? Your balance sheet starts to get exposed. So that's something I wanted to share with you, was that sometimes you can come for a healthy correction, which is perfectly normal. But then if there's some catastrophes in the market, right? Somebody, like there is a Do Kwon, there is a FTX of this cycle, that can often lead you to break structure and fall even more, right? So I remind you, you are invested in the most volatile asset class known to mankind, right? There's a reason we're in crypto. We want the upside gains. With that comes these pullbacks. If you're not comfortable with 20%, 30% pullbacks here on Bitcoin, and then of course worse on altcoins, it's just not the right asset class for you, right? It is a crazy asset class. That's the reason you get these crazy day candles, 10% up on Bitcoin on the 11th of November. But then equally, you have to stomach down 5.5% today and down 4.9% yesterday. That's how it goes. So, zooming out, let's just clear out some of these lines. You know that previous all-time high is an important support. If we lose where we're at currently, that's where I'm looking to. At that point, I will want to buy the dip. Now, I want to bring out the EMA ribbon just to show you exactly what's going on. We've lost the daily EMA ribbon, which is a loss of trend. Now, this was coming. Again, over the last 3 weeks, we couldn't get back above our EMA ribbon. We just couldn't get back above it. It was acting as resistance, putting downwards pressure on us, and eventually, the eventuality played out that the EMA ribbon started to flippen, the lighter colored lines coming here below the redder lines, and sending us to the downside. You can see that the 200 exponential moving average, this teal colored line, is trying to hold a support, right? Again, tying in with this pivot point we spoke about. But I think it might be futile. I think the writing's on the wall that maybe we need to go a little bit deeper just to get some of those weak hands out and pull back a little bit further. Now, EMA ribbon gone. Let's go to our weekly chart where I can show you exactly where we're at in terms of having some perspective, right? Do we need to be worried medium to longer term? The answer, as you can see on this chart, is no. What we've seen is an extended move from our EMA ribbon, a pullback into the EMA ribbon over a multi-month period, and now you hope that price gets bidded up, right? These are the areas, do your own research, of course, guys, where I want to be going long, right? Buying from positions of strength, not buying up in here, or I don't know who's buying up there. I'm not buying up there when the price is extended. That's chasing green candles. It's about buying into this EMA ribbon. So the deeper we get into this EMA ribbon range, that's where I will want to be buying not just Bitcoin, but also altcoins, which I feel like I'm underexposed to. So any of my favorite altcoins, again, I'll do that in a separate video where I break down which altcoins I want to jump into. Now, if you're fed up of these crazy swings and you actually want to know how do the wealthy actually get rich in crypto, maybe you've put some money in, lost it, put some money in, lost it, and you're just frustrated, you actually want to know what is it the rich are actually doing? Because I'm telling you, there are people who make money in crypto, right? Download my free PDF, links in the description. I'll put it as the very first link and the pinned comment. Go get that PDF, have a read of it. If you have any questions, jump into the Telegram. I'll take your questions on that PDF if you've read it from front cover to the last cover. Make sure you go grab that free PDF, guys. So this pullback here is, all but expected. I'm expecting a pullback into this region, and I would want to be nibbling from here. These are good, strong points to nibble. Now, when do I start to become worried, guys? That's an obvious question, right? If I'm saying I'm fine and no need to panic, when do we panic? When do we flip up the script? Well, we flip up the script if we get a daily candle close below the EMA ribbon, right? Below the EMA ribbon at 74.5. 74.5 would be a painful level. Now, that's interesting because it kind of ties in with what I said, right? This horizontal line tying in with the previous all-time high, horizontal line there. If we get daily candle closes in this region, no bueno, right? Then on a multi-month, multi-year period, we need to say, hey, we've lost our weekly EMA ribbon. Things could be getting much worse. Okay, so I just wanted to put that into perspective. Now, I know some people are messaging me about Sonic as well. Just keep some perspective on Sonic, right? I mean, Sonic is a coin that just last week went up 59%. The week before went up 29%, and now it's pulling back 18%. You're okay on that one, right? These are the positions where, of course, do your own research. If you wanted to add more, you add more because you're not buying, chasing the green candles. You're doing the opposite. When everyone gets fearful, you're doing the opposite. Has anything from a macro perspective changed? Has any of the reasons that why Sonic was pumping over the last couple of weeks in terms of people rotating from Solana, rotating from Ethereum and Binance Chain, has any of that changed? No, people are using it. They're coming across it. Total value locked is increasing. It's still a good project. And these kind of pullbacks are more wider market pullbacks, not anything else. Now, the reason the pullback is so powerful is because of the powerful move it had, right? You have to take it, both ways. You can't say, oh, I want a coin that has good pumpability to the upside, but then doesn't dump. The ones which dump the most tend to be the ones that pump more to the upside as well. Okay, now we need to move on to what's going on in the economy. Now we know in terms of the tariffs, that's causing a little bit of the issue. You got the US talking with Russia, Ukraine, trying to sort stuff out there. You got the tariff conversation still worrying markets. Now, with the tariff conversation, really quickly, guys, like I said at the time, expect lots of days where the market dumps because of this tariff talk, right? Remember, Trump is a politician. He's got to say stuff to get the outcome he wants. He doesn't care that Bitcoin's going to dump 5% because he was too harshly worded. He doesn't care, right? So expect, him to use it as a negotiating tactic to get to hear what he wants to hear, and that may upset our stocks and it may upset our crypto bags. Fact of the matter is, right now we are risk off. You can see the Nasdaq falling 1.8%, Nvidia leading the Nasdaq to the downside here. We had weak consumer confidence data today as well, which is a little bit of a worry. We look to the Fed rates and the interest rate calls. The next Fed meeting is in 3 weeks, but again, no respite there, right? No kind of plans in the works of seeing some liquidity come in through there. Today, look, guys, we had $1.6 billion wrecked in this market. $1.6 billion wrecked in 24 hours longs, right? People who were long Bitcoin got wrecked. Loads of them would have had their stop losses in that region. Should you be surprised? No. I've been sharing with you guys these liquidation heat maps for a while now, and you can see there's a lot of liquidity to grab below, right? There's a lot of that liquidity here, which is being grabbed. This whole horizontal from that support is all being grabbed. And guess where there's more liquidity, guys? Exactly where I shared at the previous all-time high. This tranche here, this is juicy for market makers. But something interesting happens, right? As this price starts to go down to grab this liquidity, guess what? Greedy people start shorting Bitcoin, right? They're jumping. It's happening right now. It's jumping on the bandwagon right now. People are shorting and squeezing the longs to the downside. But then it swings. Then the liquidity starts to build above. And market makers will take a U-turn and go grab some of that juicy liquidity back at 90,000, back at 95,000, back at 100,000 and beyond, right? That's how the game works. I mean, already you can see here, this dark yellow colored line here at 100,000 is getting juicy. There's $6 billion worth of liquidation leverage sitting at 100,000. Do you think market makers won't want that? They'll want it eventually. They'll bide their time, but eventually they'll go grab that as well. So stay away from leverage in these very difficult times. Ultimately, the people that are getting wrecked are those in leverage and also those chasing the tops. If you stick to basic rules of buying spot, avoiding leverage, making sure you're buying from positions of strength, right? Today, extreme fear. Are you doing some work today, or are you waiting for it to be extreme greed, right? Extreme greed, like last month up at 73, and then you're FOMOing into projects. you gotta use your little bit of a nous in this, right? Look, this is the market right now. These are the moments when you're getting discounts. Now, I'm not saying throw the whole bag in. If you've got 10,000 to dollar cost average into the market, maybe you decide to take a chunk of $500 to $1,000 of that, and you start buying the dip. That way, if we fall some more, you can buy the dip some more, right? DCA into the market on these red days, and you tend to get yourself good low cost bases. I mean, Ethereum down 10%, Telecoin down 23%, Polygon down 8.7%, Render down 12%. Some really good projects getting smacked today, like we spoke about. Sonic down 15%, Solana down 10%, Radium down 18%. Lots of pain in this market. If you're looking at your portfolio right now, it's not going to look anywhere near what it looked like just a few weeks ago. But that's the game of crypto, right? That is the game of crypto. If you don't have conviction, it's a bad place to be. Because guess what? We could be falling another 15%. We could be falling another 20%. And if you don't like what your portfolio looks like now, and you're going to panic sell when that gets to that price point, you're better off just not being involved at all, right? You're just better off getting out now if you're going to panic sell in the next 20%. What is the point? Whereas those who understand that these are opportunities to not panic, but to buy the dip, to increase your bag, to get more Satoshis, to get more tokens of your favorite tokens, whether it's ETH, whether it's Cardano, whether it's any of these projects, to get more tokens, and you focus on the tokens, not the dollar value, those are the ones who do well. Make sure you get my PDF blueprint, guys. Link will be in the description. Other thing I did want to weigh in on, I just have the stat here, which I wanted to read you guys, is institutions are taking money out of the market, right? We are seeing that I think $600 million worth has flown out of Bitcoin ETFs this month. But again, nothing to be concerned about. It's a rotation to risk off. And ultimately, that's what we need to understand. When risk rotates off, you get this behavior. Bitcoin is classed as a risk on asset. When risk rotates off, it's not good for the NASDAQ. It's not good for Bitcoin. That's how we're characterized right now. So the traders from TradFi or institutions who are involved in Bitcoin, when things are good, they're in Bitcoin. When they're not good, they go out of Bitcoin. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you like this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Get your PDF in the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.